and transformation. But I would define rebirth this morning as change. Change. If you are not ready to take responsibility for your life, I'm going to show us some statistics that will help us. But before we go further, let's quickly look at the book of Romans chapter 12, verse 1 to 2, Amplified Version. Romans 12. Remember, we're talking about rebirth for the new season. Romans chapter 12, 1 to 2. I appeal to you. Is this not Amplified Version? No, this is not Amplifier. Amplified Version. Okay. I appeal to you, therefore, brethren, and beg you, in view of all the mercies of God, to make a decisive dedication of your bodies, presenting all your members and faculties as a living sacrifice, holy, devoted, consecrated, and well-pleasing to God, which is your reasonable, rational, look at it, reasonable, rational, intelligent service and spiritual worship. Let's look at verse 2. Do not conform to this world, or fashion after adopted to the external, superficial custom, but be transformed. You can say the word there. Change. Be transformed and change by the entire renewal of your mind and its ideas and its new attitude, so that you may prove for yourself what is good. Change. Young people, hear me and hear me well. COVID has changed our world forever. Our world will never remain the same. COVID took our world up. Our world is coming back gradually. Our world cannot come back here again. It's very important that we understand the spirit of the times and the weight of the ages and where we are in the clock of human journey. We are at a point at the clock of human journey. We are not in ordinary times. Every 500 years, something unprecedented hits the world. And it usually begins in the church. Then from the church to the popular culture. The last that happened was in 1517. If you are a history student, will remember the Martin Luther King Reformation Revolution. It happened in 1517. It started in the church. It disrupted the system. From the church, it hit the secular world. Changed everything. What we are calling democracy today started by that revolution. Research, go and check it out. What we call small government started in 1517. Even in the church, it disrupted our theology and went into popular culture. Something big is about to happen that will disrupt the theology we have hold so dearly. That is not taking us anywhere. Remember I said, after 500 years, and that 500 years ended in 2017. Go and do your research. January 2018 was the beginning of another 500 years. But somehow, the world did not see it. We did not prepare. Nobody saw it. But COVID came and dragged us into that new season. COVID came and dragged us into that new season. And people of God, our world will never remain the same again. COVID may look as if it has gone. But we're going to live with the impact of COVID many years. So what do we need to do as church people? A lot has happened in the world. And there's difference between what is happening and what is going on. Hear me and hear me well. There's a difference between what is happening and what is going on. Many of us are busy with the activity of what is happening. What is happening is a majority conversation. A lot is going on. And I'm going to show us in a few minutes, what do we do to key into that new season? Remember the Bible scripture we read. He said, be transformed and be changed. At the end of this convention, what will I begin to do? What will I stop doing? Hear me and hear me well. Success don't flow in the direction of wishes. Because if wishes were horses, success will not flow into direction of wishes. I claim it. I receive it. Heaven open. All of that, I believe all of that. But people of God, what is the product of the church? What do we have? People that don't have miracle water, that don't have access to great men of God, they created almost everything that we use. Do you know that if unbelievers pull out their product in the system, some women here will disappear from this stage? Some of our phones will disappear. Some of the things that we hold so dearly, we call them, we call these guys unbelievers that don't have God. But do you know what these guys have done? So as people of God, what do we do to enter that new season? I have just a few points and I'll round up. Okay. There's a story I'd like to share with us. But let's quickly open our Bible to Proverbs chapter 30, verse 18. What do we do? What do I do? At every point in our life, people of God, hear me. You must always ask yourself, what next? What next? He said, there will be three things which are too wonderful for me. For which I know not. The next verse. The way of an eagle in the air. The way of a serpent upon the rock. The way of a ship in the midst of the sea. And the way of a married man with a maid. We're not talking about that today. The emphasis I like to show us is to learn from what I call eagle rebirth process. He said, it's too wonderful. The way of the eagle in the air. Studio, can I have my slide now? Let me have the slide on what I call eagle rebirth process. And what it means is that many of us needs to start our rebirth process now. Young people, hear me and hear me well. It's not by jumping around. It's not by spending 10 hours, 15 hours on the Facebook, on internet. I'm a social media person. I run organizations now. I do a lot of digital marketing, all of that. See, almost every day I post on Facebook, on Instagram, but I don't live there. Because my business permits me to go online every day. But I don't live there.